right? What is use tax? So typically, your vendors are responsible for charging the correct amount of tax to you when you purchase items, right? However, if the vendor does not charge your business correctly, it is your responsibility to pay the tax. So this is called use tax or assessing use tax. And now let's talk about what's the difference between use tax and sales tax. So very commonly used in the system or from transaction perspective, we see very often sales tax. But basically the difference can be straightforward, meaning that let's take an example of purchase order. You're going to have sales tax calculated on a purchase order if your vendors are responsible for charging the tax amount. So in that scenario, when you create a purchase order with a total amount and you check the total amount screen, you're going to see the sales tax amount available as part of the total. And this calculated sales tax amount is going to continue to flow into your purchase order invoice until you pay your vendor with the total amount, including sales tax, right? However, for use tax, because your vendor is no longer responsible for reporting or calculating the tax, it is the business responsibility to keep track of all the use tax on each individual transactions. And from system perspective, that means when you enter a total purchase order amount, the system is no longer going to calculate a sales tax amount as part of the total. So you will have the sales tax amount line showing up as zero. But it doesn't mean that the tax is not calculated because at some point, as a business, you still need to maintain and keep track of the use tax amount, right? To